And we are live.
fanboy modeling school. Welcome into the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD, and I'm here with my man
Steve, real name, no gimmicks, also in HD, lo-fi, high fidelity.
He took it to the next level. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. Tired? You know, 'tis the season to say fuck work and all those involved with it. Am I right?
Well, so much for giving up cursing.
Oh, I thought we were starting that next week.
Yeah, you know, you can always change your life and make it better next week. Right now, we're partying.
Next week.
Okay, I'm having a good one. I'm living the dream. I'm angry at the news.
Oh, what news are you angry at exactly?
Oh, we're going to talk about it. But today, here's what it is. I feel like it's been a while since we've had fiery topics. Like, for instance, we had the Jada Pinkett thing 2 weeks in a row. However, that is a topic everyone has a universal thought on.
Right.
The woman's a cunt.
Okay.
Right? So,
yeah.
However, there are some topics tonight that are so personal, it just rips me up inside.
Really? Like what, my brother? What's going on?
In a world grade, well, everything going on in Oregon is really bothering me. Also, I will say ripping me up in a good way. Gina Carano making a return, maybe not on camera, but on Twitter. So it should be good. How are you tonight?
No, I'm good. I'm thinking about the Carano thing because obviously I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but the Pandaverse thing, obviously from the creators of South Park during the Pandaverse.
That's whole part of the thing. Them doing their thing opened the floodgates for her to do her thing.
It did, and I have not seen it myself, so I'm only quoting people who have claimed to have seen it. But apparently, they don't just take shots at the pandering to the wokies. They also take shots at the people who pander to the other side too, and make them quite a part of the butt of the joke.
Oh yes, yeah. Because actually, South Park is really good at like being wise like that. And like I know both those guys were like former Mormons. Is there something about Mormonism that makes you more wise than other people? But
no, there's nothing about being a Mormon that makes you wiser than anyone.
Because sometimes I'm like, that was so. I'll watch an episode and be like, that was so wise.
It's about escaping Mormonism that makes you wise. Like after escaping something like that, you're like, yeah. I am deeply insightful now that I've gotten out of that cult.
So let it be known that the opinions of our hosts they absolutely reflect the opinions of the show, because what else could they mean? So there's that. But
yeah, we don't have anyone else we can blame our opinions on. We can't take a week off and go to rehab to deal with our issues in regards to our opinion.
Rogue Radio sending us some Israeli love. Look at that.
What
blue and white hearts. RM saying Gina's not getting her Disney Plus show back anytime soon. No. She will return, and she's gonna save Star Wars.
You got to let that go, bro.
It's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
They're gonna have like a whole they're gonna have a 20 episode arc where Gina Carano rises out of the flames like the Phoenix.
Can I ask you an honest question? I know you're being funny here, but was her character even that dope in The Mandalorian?
Okay, I here's what at the time I was like no, and it was all principle that I was defending her and all that stuff. But looking back on it, she was really dope.
I thought she was great on it. She was great.
Yeah,
probably the best acting I've ever seen her do at all. Period. Well, we missed you too, Rogue. We're streaming everywhere tonight, folks. We're on Voice of the Fat Mantis. We're on.
Everybody, come to us. Come to us.
Whoa, easy, man.
Hi, Dragon Lady. Welcome into the stream. We are talking all things in the news, pop culture. This is the Fanboy Modeling School, where we break down this week's most ridiculous and fun and awesome stories in pop culture. Right. I know what I want to get to, but do you have any honorable mentions tonight?
I do, man. And I know you're probably sick of hearing me say this, bro, but watched Loki episode 4 last night with the missus. And she's into the MCU, but she's not like a try hard, die hard, like, person into comics and stuff like that.
Right.
I gotta be honest with you, man. The show's really fucking good, man.
Everyone is saying that. I
don't want to gas it up to the point where you can't enjoy it when you watch it. I'm just gonna say it's good, man. It's really good. It picks right up from where season 1 was. They improve upon the tone. I am enjoying the TVA and being around the TVA. Man,
keep speaking.
Around the TVA and all those things, man. I'm having a great time with it. And I got to admit, man, I want him to be innocent. We'll find out as the facts continue to roll out from his case. But Jonathan Majors is absolutely fucking amazing as he who remains and Mr. Timely. He's really, really good.
So I'll tell you this. I don't know if we're going to make this a major story because we're starting off as honorable mentions. But a certain YouTuber, which we both hate, was talking mad smack about Jonathan Majors in her live stream today. And she said we shouldn't believe the hype that all this stuff that's going to get him off on court is all just bullshit and he's going down.
Based off of what? What does she have?
Her theories, her opinion as a
scooper, like her. Yeah. So now she's a legal commentator. She has
you should have seen her break things down like she was a legal expert or something like that.
Right.
I'm not even sure she's literate, but somehow she's breaking down legal cases on her YouTube channel.
You know what's crazy, man? I don't want to hate Grace Randolph. but I'm gonna call it,
we sense the butt coming.
And I don't want to lend any credence. I was observing a conversation the other night around feminism, and it just dawned on me how much time I've wasted around the conversation of feminism, right? Equal rights, protection of women, all these things, right? And when I hear someone like Grace Randolph weigh in on it, it makes me realize there are two parties that I'm not interested in hearing their thoughts on political outcomes and legal outcomes. And Grace Randolph is placed firmly right there, man. From this point forward, I'm going to do my best to only take my news based off of the facts. In fact, on Throwback Spin with Steve.
Wow, that was the plug of plugs. He slipped that right in. None of you know this.
On Throwback Spin with Steve, we were covering, we've been covering the entire Tupac, KPD situation, and then we're going into a bunch of other stuff. Young former rapper took a shot at Ice Spice saying that hip hop is in its prostitute phase right now. How does this all tie into Grace Randolph, right?
Well, however, you had a similar theory. You didn't use that phrase, but I feel that was your theory a couple
the whole
weeks
phase.
ago.
Yeah, I was like, this shit's in its fucking whore bag phase. So here's the thing, right? How does this all tie into Grace Randolph, my brother? I'm going to put a bow on it. I will always say I believe based on my opinion or this is conjecture. I will never present my opinion as fact, in spite of what people might try to say about me. I'm like, no, this is just what I think. I may never say what I feel, but I'm like, no, based off of the information, this is my opinion on it. Yeah. And I cannot stand the commentators like her and others on the right present their thoughts as facts.
Yeah, and I think you do a good job of that, and I try to as well. I'm always like, well, this is me, not necessarily the law, but in your face.
Right.
Now, Fangirls for Fan Boys, hey, what up, Princess Bax?
Oh,
not the whole phase.
She race swapped her character there, right? That's not the same Betty character. Now it's a dark Betty.
No, it's Veronica, but yeah, no, it's dark Veronica. It's black verse Veronica.
Did she say why she thinks Jonathan Majors is going down? Does she have some new evidence that we're all not privy to?
So she's saying that there's misreporting going on, and she's like the video he gave is a fake. And then she also said that well, there was some other thing that she was like, oh, and he said they were going to arrest her, but they weren't really going to arrest her or something. So basically,
They did
what she's
arrest
saying
her,
is
and they just didn't press charges.
she's basically saying there's misreporting going on. I have no way to confirm or deny. All I know is that I read an article that said there was a video of her being fine after talking to the cops, and that the cops were looking for her.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right the fuck along, fucking has-been YouTube stars.
Right. So my honorable mentions before we get into it is Spider-Man Number Deuce. So this is a video game highly anticipated. Everybody's all into it. Can't wait for it to come out. There's several controversies have come out. I'm sure you've heard about the Mary Jane.
Yeah, they made her not ugly. What of it?
You're
a man that likes aesthetically pleasing things. You're an old school Hollywood guy. They got the ugly broad out. They got the good broad in. What's the problem?
Well, you know how I feel about that. You can guess. But the latest thing that they did is that Latino streamers have tried to play it on Spanish mode, which I think a lot of us are never going to attempt. It's going to go right over our head.
Right.
But on stream, there's actually a YouTuber who lost his mind because the Spanish was wrong. And why was it wrong? Did they have like somebody who didn't really know it and was trying to translate from Google Translate? We wish that was the case. What really was going on is they removed all forms of gender, going to the extreme of even making up words.
Wow.
To make it a completely wrong language, taking a dump on other people's language in the name of this equity, inclusion, and ass fuckery. I'm sorry. I am enraged by this, man. This enrages me.
Listen, okay, it enrages you. Go on, because
let me get this straight. And I'm not knocking white people. Some of my best friends are white people. Mm-hmm. My accountant is a white person. But so let me get this straight. A group of white allies,
right,
decided to be good to everyone and include everyone. Decided to take another person's language, their freaking language,
right,
and butcher it to their liking.
Yes.
In a video game.
Yes. To
express
inclusion. What
is that sound insane to you?
Why
are you so calm right now? What is going on right now?
What of it, you bigot? I'm all for changing words. Let's make Cyclops black. All of it. Let's do all of it. No, here's the crazy thing about this. Here's the crazy thing about this. I have not played the game on Spanish mode, right? And I think we've covered this before, but allow me to say, let me just let the community speak for itself. I have heard that from a few people in that community, not by far the majority, they are wildly conservative when it comes to certain issues. So it does not surprise me that this would be an issue of the remix and recategory of their language. But I've also learned something since we've become grizzled internet veterans. This ain't my fight, right? I'm not allowed to talk about this. So I'm going to need the people who are offended by it to be even more vocal on my behalf, because I'm an ally. I don't know if you knew that about me. I'm an ally.
An ally to the red pill, maybe.
I am an ally to this movement of altruism in regards to all beautiful things.
Look, welcome in, Grug.
What up,
Greg? Says you might not remember me, but I first watched you 2 years ago on Spoon. This is the first time I've rewatched you since then. Welcome aboard. You have been missed, Greg.
Welcome back. You don't think so, right? Like you and I don't have any right to speak on this, right? We gotta let. Maybe we should bring a.
And you know what's funny? You know what Greg stands for, right?
What?
Grace Randolph Underground. That's Grace in disguise watching us right now.
Shut the front door. I wish it was, because if you gave me the green light that it was, then I'd be like,
she got a memo. Like one of her people said we were talking smack and decided to come on in.
You get what I'm saying though? Like, Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, so that is how I feel about certain international issues that are going on right now.
Right.
That I'm like, say, like, I don't have a dog in this fight.
Right.
So who am I to tell people how they do certain things internationally with warfare?
Right. That doesn't make any sense either. So neither one of our statements.
And no, I understand what you're saying. You're saying
I'm joking, motherfucker. Obviously, I have opinions on this, and here's why.
Just when I thought he was going to be based. Just so let's do
here's
this.
my actual opinion on this situation. Right? Everyone can be got, and everyone can be touched, and it'd be foolish for minorities to assume that this isn't going to swing back on them. Do you remember a few years ago there was a real push to take a close look at the lyrics of hip hop? You remember this? Where they were like misogynistic views expressed in hip hop, and it's still kind of going on to this day. And I hate that that has to be synonymous with quote unquote black culture. I'm just giving you an easy one to look at, right? It does not surprise me that they would do something like this, right? Because who are they going to talk to? Who are they going to get permission from to say, hey, who's the head of the Spanish speaking community that we can get permission to say we're going to change genders based off of your language,
or
right?
maybe they could be respectful to other people's culture and not mess with the language at all.
Why? What makes you think they're gonna do that? What makes you think they're gonna do that?
It's because they have to come, or they have to go all over the place. They got to piss all over everything.
So I heard an interesting take tonight before our show. No, I mean, it wasn't our show, so it wasn't really interesting, but I just want to give a shout out to Den of Nerds over there. And he was talking about, the Marvel reboot, Kathleen Kennedy, all this shit, right? All the things that are wrong with fandom while people are starving across the world. And he brought up a very good point about something, which wasn't his original point. The reason that Disney, it was in regards to the Pandaverse. He's like, the reason that Disney probably could not get rid of Kathleen Kennedy was because of the fandom menace. He was like, they could not be seen giving in to this.
Right. Because a bunch of incels and trolls are attacking her. And so they're like, we can't let them win. So we're gonna pay this woman a ridiculous amount of money every year to do a shitty job and to make our movies lose money.
But it sounds ridiculous when you go ahead.
It's true though. I said it like a psychopath. But the crazy thing is, that is how wealthy people think. That is how corporations think. Corporations are literally like, well, we're going to stick it to these guys. It'll only cost us $7 billion, but whatever. That's what Bud Light's plan was. They're like, well, we'll show those bigots. So now they can go to their Unitarian church and feel really high and mighty about themselves, but they alienated all their customers.
I've always wanted to go to a Unitarian church, man, just to see what's happening in there. You ever just want to walk in and see what? No.
So,
you have been there. You sicko.
When I was living in Virginia, I dated a Unitarian.
Did you get an STD check afterwards?
I should have. The craziest thing was the only time I had to go there was on Christmas, and the agreement was like
Christmas.
the whole thing is like, you come to my church for Christmas,
right?
Because here's what it is: my Christmas they didn't do like a midnight mass thing, so like you come to my Christmas, and then we'll go over to your Unitarian church. So that was the only time I would go, and let me tell you, it was offensive. It was an offensive experience.
I assume you walked in, there was some white guy with his shirt open, like, come on in, man.
I mean, I could go on. We should start a religious channel because to talk about other things. Everyone's doing it.
What?
Like I subscribe to Bible Time with Melanie Mack.
I think she was a Christian walking in the door, though, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I'm just saying she finally made a channel where she reads the Bible.
I know.
And then Ramsey Dewey, who's a martial arts YouTuber, he's just like reading the Bible with Ramsey Dewey's his second channel.
It's very popular, bro. It's in right now. Salvation is in.
Yeah, maybe we should have one. Maybe not reading the Bible. We could talk about our thoughts.
We've come too far, Mantis. No one's going to take us serious. We've come. We sold our souls to Koreans.
People take Melanie Mack seriously, and like her first channel is like, she's just like, the problem with Pikachu is the other one she's reading Genesis. So,
These wokies. All right, moving.
I
right
love
along.
everyone I just mentioned. I love them all. They're great people. I watch the
Yeah.
channels all the time.
Good stuff.
Over here, we've got somebody come in, and it's Damage Dex. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer you a promotion for your channel, viewers, followers, views, chat box, etc. Thank you for the opportunity, brother man. But
Burn in hell.
yeah, burn in hell, you sinner. You kiss your mother with that mouth, you animal. Okay, so what do you want to talk about first?
Well, I mean, you kick it off, man. Where are we going first, man? Where are we going first here? Because I have videos for you, but mine's just so lowbrow. Okay, let's talk about Zherka getting his ass kicked. Let's
Let's talk about Zherka. Yeah, you're like, I can't tell if you're arguing that that's highbrow or lowbrow, but whatever it is, let's do it.
It's so lowbrow. I couldn't even imagine having to imagine having a platform as large as No Jumper, right? Or any of these platforms, and this is the news that you get to report on. Zherka, who is surprised that this guy finally got hands put on him? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised, right? Like,
you want me to play the Zherka video for everybody?
Yeah, play the Zherka video.
The Instagram, right?
Yeah, it should be the second one, I believe.
I'm on it.
I can't wait to get a haircut tomorrow. I always feel like right before I get a haircut, I look like I'm doing the worst in life. Like, I feel like people want to ask me, Steve, everything okay? To which I would say no, and then make up a complicated story that will lead to you loaning me $20.
That was well said.
Thank you. It was all off the top, by the way.
All right. Oh, of course. No doubt in my mind. Blammo. Let's see what's going on with the Zerks. Zerky do, as I like to call him.
The streamer is getting punched.
Yo, stop being racist, bro. Who's being racist? Who the fuck said I'm being racist? Say, prove it.
Knocked out, bro.
Prove it. Who the fuck gonna knock me out? I'm gonna knock you
out.
Whoa!
No, wait, hold on. No way. There is no way that their leader is a midget. There is 0%. This is comedy. Yo, you're about to rickroll me, aren't you?
No. Let it rock.
A midget is their leader. Okay.
Oh! Holy smoke! Is that a gun?
Relax, just relax. Relax, bro.
Oh!
Did you hit a girl?
No, he hit a guy.
Nah, chill.
Wait, is that the tiny person? Is that the little person attacking him? Why does the Joker have a gun?
Okay, let's watch it again.
I'm kidding. Who's being racist? Who the fuck said I'm being racist? Say, prove it.
Knocked out, bro.
Prove it. Who the fuck gonna knock me out? I'm gonna knock you out. For what? I'm gonna knock
Where
you
did
out.
he-
For what? I'm gonna knock you out. So do it. I'm gonna knock you out. What?
Oh wait, this might be staged. I just realized something.
Why?
That he punched him and Zherka looked at the camera.
Relax, just relax.
Wait, let's see if we can run it
Oh,
back.
he's
I
got
can't.
blood in his mouth though.
This was at No Jumper Studios.
No, it's not no jump.
Chill.
That guy looks really serious. Is that the tiny
Yeah.
person?
Beating on him.
Okay.
Let's watch it one more time. I'm gonna stop it after he gets hit. But
I'm kidding. Who's being racist? Who the fuck said I'm being racist?
Where are they?
Say, prove it.
Knocked out, bro.
Prove it. Who the fuck gonna knock me out? I'm gonna knock you out. For what? I'm gonna knock you out. For what? I'm gonna knock you out. So do it. I'm gonna knock you out. What?
See? Doesn't it look weird that he punched him and then maybe he didn't look at the camera?
I don't know about that. It was happened too quick for me to know what.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that? Zherka getting punched in the mouth. Where's Berlin at, man? Berlin's always up on the Zherka train. What do you think about
So
this?
tell us about Berserker.
So Zherka is a commentator that, against all odds, right? Do you remember when Kevin Samuels died? And I rightfully predicted that for all you underarm hair pit having ass hoes that was celebrating calling him kitten worm food Samuels, right? Whatever replaced him was going to be way worse. And then the advent of Andrew Tate, who slid in there. And actually, Andrew Tate has been oddly silent on a lot of things. He's been sounding more and more sane as the days go on.
Because he has legal troubles to deal with.
Legal troubles, right? And then Zherka comes in on the heels of Andrew Tate's situation, and Zherka is a guy who I have no idea what the point is. He is the red pill personified on steroids, right? Everything that comes out of his mouth is can't talk about those people, right? He's the guy that went on Fresh and Fit, really got them into the Nick Fuentes type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't surprise me that someone would call Zherka out for being racist, right? What I never thought was going to happen, he's a big dude, man. He's about the same height as you and I, but he's a very muscular guy. And to see him get duffed out by a little dude is pretty funny. See, and I knew Bex was going to be the one that said this. So remember this, right? You see Bex calling him Kitten Heels Samuels.
Yeah.
You know why I get down on Meg Thee Stallion so much? Because women have no problem equating Kevin Samuels to a homosexual. So why should I have a problem equating Meg Thee Stallion?
Yeah. I absolutely feel you. And
like when women want to hit low, they go right to equating men to homosexuals. Why are women so homophobic? What's going on there, Bex?
What up, Matt Cat? Yes, and so they were quick. Remember when the rumor was, and this was started by women, mostly women were saying this, that when Kevin Samuels died, that he was with some sort of transgendered woman, which wasn't true at all. At all. It wasn't even remotely true. It wasn't even it was just a made-up fabrication that people were recycling. But you're right. There is a quick jab to that. And what's weird is like, icons that we find sacred, and I'm going to name people. I don't find them personally sacred. I'm saying people.
Right.
Men. So I'm going to say people like Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, Kevin Samuels, outspoken men, Jordan Peterson. They're people that a lot of men kind of look up to. They are, anytime they speak, though, women feel like it's free to belittle them, emasculate them, say they're horrible and evil, and they need to be destroyed. But as soon as we go after your icons, strangely, like Megan the Stallion, I don't know how she became a woman icon, we are the devil. We have crossed a line, and we can't criticize them.
Well, wait, no. See, here's the thing: you always got to pay attention to the conversation. Bex says if he's gay, he's gay. But Bex, do you have any proof?
Yeah, what
Kevin
is
Samuels
that?
is gay? Where's the evidence? Like, is there something I missed? You know who went in hard when Kevin Samuels died? Pause. Star. The day Kevin Samuels passed away.
What up, Matt?
He was like, yo, I love this man. Star has a profound respect for him, but he was like, if there are pictures of him with the boy and he died with the boy, send me the pictures. I'm going to report on it. And the fact is, Beck says Kevin Samuels is not an icon, nor is Meg. Whoa. Those tight ass pants were proof enough, but Meg Thee Stallion has the hands like a man. Clearly good for picking cabbage.
Wait, hold on. But Kevin Samuels is absolutely an icon. He's literally the definition of an icon. What are you talking about, Ben?
I guess if we're going by popularity or units, then like they would both be considered icons. But
I'm saying there are men who have statues of him in their house. Like he is like people refer to him as like the godfather of the red pill, and he's all this and that.
Right.
He is absolutely an icon.
Well, I guess the question I would want to pose is, Bex, why would you be so highly offended to me equating Meg Thee Stallion, not black women, before you go there, but that dude Meg Thee Stallion as a dude? You said the other day that it's odd that I equate her as a dude. And I find it odd that the first place you go to with no evidence of Kevin Samuels ever having a relationship with a man, and making it a negative, by the way, that he's homosexual. Like, there are many men who wear...
Yeah, she says y'all on the good crack, obviously.
yeah, and that's the point.
That's what it is. They want to belittle. They want to belittle them and emasculate them. But why? Why is it so important to assassinate his character? You can't even admit that he was a popular in the content space.
Wait. Bex, you can't. Don't fall for this trap, right? What she's not going to do. She's not going to answer the question, right? The next statement will be a troll to pull you out. But the problem is that Kevin Samuels wore form-fitting clothes, not like the bum niggas that most bitches date nowadays. Like he wore age-appropriate clothes.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Megan Thee Stallion was on She-Hulk. However, Kevin Samuels was on Atlanta. So obviously he's the icon, yo.
That's a hard shot. That's a hard shot. Way more relevant to black people apparently than Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bex. You got this one wrong. You're right about a lot of stuff. You were wrong. He is definitely an icon, and I can't speak for Megan because she's your that's the realm of the women. Oh, I can't legitimize Megan Thee Stallion. Only you can, Bex.
Right.
Matt says, I'll tell you what, Kevin Samuels never let another man rail his woman while he watched.
Ooh,
exactly. That's why the next generation of Red Pill are going to fail, because they're this weak and pathetic.
So, all right, run the video back one more time. I want to take another look at it because we're going to get into it. Must have been the week of content creators getting punched, because we have another video queued up of someone getting absolutely leveled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Volume.
Kidding. Who's being racist? Who the fuck said I'm being racist? Say, prove it.
Knocked out, bro.
Prove it. Who the fuck gonna knock me out? I'm gonna knock you out. For what? I'm gonna knock you out. For what?
It's straight out of WWE with the midget.
Relax. Relax.
Where are they?
Relax, bro.
They would have to be in some no jumper situation.
Oh, no, they're not in no jumper studio. It looks like they're in someone's apartment or some type of boutique.
That is a nice apartment, I gotta say.
I think the little guy's attacking him right now. The little fella.
Yeah, I don't mean to be mean or anything, but I'd suplex a midget if he came at me, even if I was on the ground.
Bro, I would literally kick that motherfucker from the back. I'd kick him with every.
That's the only part of it that makes me think it's staged. The whole altercation is
The
staged.
tiny person. Beck says, I would love to answer your question, Steve, but too much to type.
Ooh.
Too much to type.
She wants to come on the call. Megan Thee Stallion, this is from RM, as far as I know, has not told an entire category of men that they were useless and unwanted the way your
Hold
boo
on.
Kevin.
I knew someone was going to do this. RM, I challenge you to go look up the lyrics for Meg Thee Stallion's songs and see how she speaks about men who are less than liquid in regards to their economical stance. When has Meg Thee Stallion ever said a positive thing about a working black man? Can you produce the lyric?
Matt says, Kevin Samuels always wore nice suits. He's always dressed well. I agree. I've never noticed that his clothes are too tight or something like that.
Wait, no, I want to stick on this point for a second. Can you bring up a lyric where she speaks positively about a man that maybe doesn't make six figures? Or does she refer to them as, what's the word that's popular with the kids? Broke ass ninjas? Right? Is that not disparaging?
Matt says, man, the horse has the man shoulders.
Wait. Are we not going to deal with this? Are we just going to let that slide?
No, because here's what I'm saying. No one's in any position. No one's going to be looking up lyrics right now in our chat.
No, you have to. You have to be. If you make a claim, you have to be ready to defend your claim, right? And I can easily point out the fact that every song that Meg Thee Stallion has ever made in some way, shape, or form references broke ass niggas. There, I said it for you, so you don't have to say it. Is that not disparaging of a group of men? I'm asking.
And that's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. You're going to wait for your response. No one's going to.
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Oh, she says it all the time. I'm absolutely in agreement with you. She says it all the time. She says things like that. If you listen to Bongos, she's shitting on other women. Her verse in Bongos, the latest track with her and Cardi B, is she's absolutely shitting on women all over the place. RM says, I'm not a Meg fan. I just have never heard her say that. But now I will look into it.
Wait. And then Beck says, just broke men. But Kevin Samuels just told an average bitch she was average at best. What's the problem? He was just talking about average bitches.
And also, I mean, to defend my man, Kevin, he merely was stating that women who aren't all that, who think they're worth a man who makes six figures, need to reevaluate their lives. And I don't think that's an insane thing to say.
Well, he was also pointing out what makes you special enough as opposed to a woman who's actually a 10. Why would you get this man versus the woman that is actually a 10 and aesthetically pleasing as a 10? And as much as we don't like to admit it, man, we all have an overinflated view of how we view ourselves and our intrinsic worth when it comes to these type of things. I'm sorry. I don't wake up and look in the mirror and say 10. I'd be happy being a 6 or a 7, right? Most people assume they're 10s, and you're just not that.
Okay,
You're
wait,
not
hold
that.
on. No Mo, but come on, you're an 8, easy. 8.5 maybe.
Nigga, all the mo.
I'm trying to say something positive about my boy, and somehow it becomes homoerotic.
That's the problem, man. That's the problem. You've given into this positivity, self-affirmation bullshit, man. Just be real with motherfuckers. When's the last time you looked
Okay,
someone
you
in the
ugly
face?
as fuck.
When's the last time you looked someone in their face and say, "Yo, breath stink"?
T Mizzle, what up? Holla at your boy.
What up, Tim? Hey, Tim. I'm not gonna put any of Tim's shit out there right now, but Tim gets the horn. She gets a very special fanboy modeling school. We appreciate you.
Yeah, Tams, yo. Wait, hold on. Bex, I want to point something out. Bex says, I think it's insane to tell a woman who makes 6 figures to settle, aesthetically a 10 or not. However, he was not only talking to women with 6 figures. There are women who make nothing, who are like stay-at-home wives.
She didn't make 6 figures. She didn't make 6 figures.
Right.
And this is
She
the
worked
crazy part
this
about it.
woman worked in the post office, and she's saying she deserves a man who makes 6 figures.
Yo,
and then he said, "What makes you worthy of that? Do you cook? Do you clean? You gonna give him 12 kids? You gonna let him cheat? What makes you worthy of that much money?"
Yo, the whole conversation, and this is where I think Kevin trolls people to the point because no one ever responds to what he actually says. Why you versus someone else? And that's applicable to men as well. Why you versus someone else? What makes you think you deserve this and that person would pick you? Why would they pick you?
Matt, you're more than a 6'5". Come on, brother.
Oh, Max, you're like 9.5, man.
Yeah, he says he's a 6.5 on a good day. No way. Yo, you know what it is? Women have been probably whittling my man's confidence down. Probably bitches like Megan Thee Stallion.
No. Matt's not into black dudes.
That girl he said to didn't work at a post office. I'm sure he said it to multiple women, but we're gonna go through all his. He had a decade of content to look.
But no, she's talking about the actual your average at best, and the conversation that centered around that was that woman's overinflated view of herself.
Why do I remember him making multiple of those?
No, but he said it. It started with her, and he said it about multiple women women who had an inflated view of themselves. And before he said it to women, he said it to men as well. The problem with that young lady was, and hopefully Bex can be intellectually honest about this, was she did have an overinflated view of herself. And it wasn't about her settling. It was about her overreaching, Bex. That's where that conversation would arrive for that young woman. She was overreaching.
But no, here's the thing. Here's where I'm going to defend him. He has said...
No, I didn't say black women, Matt. I said black dudes because Meg Thee Stallion is a guy. Clearly a tall black man dancing.
I want to defend my man, Kevin Samuels. And although I can't defend everything that he says, I will say this. He also puts down men. However, he does it in a way to better yourself. He says you need to look at yourself and your value. And are you actually valuable? And if you're not, you need to make yourself valuable. And I think that's a powerful message.
That's a very powerful message. RM puts in there, I've seen him tell women with multiple degrees that she didn't deserve a high value man. No, in actuality, what he said was, if you want a high value man, are you willing to date a high value man or be with a high value man that wants to split his time between you and other women? I had to do this whole thing. I had to do this whole thing with Da Vinci for a whole year. And it's like, I'm going to judge a person on what they say versus what I feel like they're saying. Feelings are the root of liars.
Here's the thing. I am not pro this idea that pro value, like high value men should be able to cheat. I don't think that's cool.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point, this is the point, my brother. This is where we have to deal with reality, right? The type of guys that are in that 1% earning range, there's a very good chance that these are the type of men like, hey, the yacht, the acreage, the Hampton house, the Dubai house, all of that comes with you being comfortable. And every once in a while, I'm going to plow some young chick. That's what Kevin Samuels was proposing.
But
now,
this is
whether or
what-
not, hold on, no, before you respond, whether or not it was true, that was the query on the table. That's what he was presenting. Would you, for the type of high earners,
Right.
if that man said, "This is what comes with being with me," would you take that? That doesn't mean it's synonymous with every high earning man, right?
DT Dubs is here, the Zherka fan.
What up?
What up, DT Dubs?
What up, DT?
No, but honestly, but we all know that a real high value man is not going to spend time with other women. The other woman is going to be his work because he's really going to be working all the damn time.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Okay. I feel as if though I've had to spend more time defending the red pill than I ever wanted to. But I'm going to have to say this, man. I don't care what you think the term means. The term high value man is about his earning capacity. It's not high. All right, let me take a deep breath. It's not man with highly esteemed ethics, right?
Who are you talking to right now?
I'm talking to Bex. She's saying he's not a high value man. Bex, that's the literal definition of what they're talking about.
Okay. I didn't see the comment.
Men of high value. They're not talking about moral fiber. They didn't say
right.
men.
It's not about more of a value. That, which is why I say his other woman is not going to really be another woman. It's going to be one of his many other jobs because he's been working all the damn time. He's not going to be able to be chilling with you. But it's almost the same thing. Could you be with a high value man who's just working all the fucking time and he doesn't have time for you? And that's what women need to think about. My man Matt says, yeah, I think Kevin Samuels told both men and women hard truths that they need to hear to better themselves. I absolutely agree with that statement. I think he did it in a way that was way better than the manosphere guys out there. Yes, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys, I'm not trying to say that Kevin Samuels invented the red pill or anything like that. I think he just did it in a classier way, and a lot of these guys who come after him don't do it as well.
So,
like, how's Sneeko going to tell me how to live my life?
First of all,
when his woman is getting plowed by strangers.
Don't even like invoke him in this conversation. The problem with this entire conversation is that anyone that claims to be something doesn't necessarily mean they're that, right? That's why I used to ask Berlin all the time. I'm like, hey, can you tell me what the defining traits are of a man who is on his journey in the red pill, right? Is there some type of literature that you all agree on? Some canon that we can all refer to, right?
The red pill canon.
And that's where the red pill fell apart, man. And in regards to this conversation about Kevin Samuels and the way that he talks to women and all that bullshit, no one took issue when he was talking to men saying, hey, you make less than $50,000 a year. You need to have a deflated version of yourself. And he said it harshly to a lot of brothers. No one took issue with that. But then when he started speaking to black women that way, not even white women, because he went after white women, and I never heard people come at him that hard. The minute he says something about a black woman that wrongfully thought of herself higher than she was, that's when it became an issue.
I'm just going to report working all the time is different from spending time with multiple women, but go off, Kings. I imagined her saying that too. I can see her saying that.
Wait. So wait. Let me get this straight. Let me see if I follow this. Let me see if I follow what you're saying, Bex. What is your definition of a high value man, and what the fuck do you think Kevin Samuels was talking about? Because that's where the disconnect is. That's where the disconnect is. There's the actual definition and then the definition you're working with. And then once you figure that shit out, email Kevin Samuels' estate and you can figure that shit out with him, because you're talking about something entirely different. Kevin Samuels put a few different scenarios out on the table, which was this: a high value man has options. What makes you his option?
That's well put. That's well put. That a high value man will have all sorts of options, and so why should he exclusively
Not
make that
you,
option?
Bex, in particular, but what makes a woman his option? And that's what I'm saying. If he's worm food, that nigga with the dick that made that song "Body Hottie," right? That big black nigga pretending to be a black woman. Meg Thee Stallion, if you can say that type of shit about Kevin Samuels, I can bang on the nigga with the lace front.
It's funny that like all like basically we used to have like a difference between like Fanboy Modeling School and Fanboy Modeling School After Dark, and
Right.
pretty much all of our episodes for the last like 2 months have all been After Dark editions. We just didn't label it as such.
It doesn't have to be
Ahsoka
After
is
Dark.
our most wholesome episodes.
It doesn't need to be labeled. That's what I'm saying. That's why I always found it interesting that Bex was so offended by me calling Meg the Stallion Meg that nigga. And why does it bother you so much?
DG Dub says, I don't think white women are having the same problem black women are having. With what?
Uh-oh. Wait. Play the video for DT Dub.
DG Dubs, have you seen this yet? Watch this.
I'm kidding.
It's Zherka.
Who's being racist?
Oh shit!
Who the
Pause
fuck
this
said
shit real
I'm being
quick.
racist?
Pause this shit real quick.
Say, prove it.
I forgot to tell you, man. Did you hear the eagle nose bitch that said black women should abort black male fetuses? Got kicked off YouTube. Cynthia G. Did you hear this? Yeah, she's
I
out.
didn't hear that.
She's out. Demonetized. Banished. Banished from popular.
Here's the thing. This isn't good, though. I do not believe in the banishment things because the people
No.
who choose
She's
banishment
not
are evil.
banned off of YouTube. She's demonetized. Both
That's
her
worse.
channels demonetized.
That's worse because that's just taking revenue away from a hardworking
Hardworking.
creator.
Wait, you've seen Cynthia G's videos, right?
I don't care the quality of people. Yo, I literally have a Tyrone Magnus video up on a thing. He's the laziest streamer ever, but he's funny and I love him. And I'm saying
Tyron
like
Magnus is clearly a genius, and Cynthia G is clearly.
all I'm saying is all this demonetizing shit, it's not doing anyone favors. It's destroying it as being a content creator. The age of content creators being able to feed themselves is going away because of these bitches at YouTube.
Wait, hold on for a second. My guy, there's terms of service. They got
What is
rid
your
of fresh,
point, bro?
They got rid of Fresh and Fit, so she had to go too. She broke the terms of service.
I don't think either of them should be monetized. I don't believe in the monetization.
Yeah, I don't
of pretty
think
much
they should be
anyone who isn't
monetized
like a
either.
Nazi or something.
Nazis weren't talking about people being monetized. They were talking about killing people.
That's what I'm saying. They should be taken away. But I'm
Uh-huh.
saying Fresh and Fit, they're just a bunch of hooligans. They're not hurting anybody.
Apparently, they hurt someone's feelings. They got demonetized.
Yeah, they hurt these assholes. YouTube. They're up in their palace.
Cynthia G said black males should be aborted in the fetus. You okay with that?
I'd have to see the context of her saying it.
The context was that nigga. What context do you need? That is the Okay, I'll give you the context. She suggested that black males are attempting to erase black females by dating white women. So her response, which I found to be a bit heavy-handed, was that in response to black men dating white women, if you find yourself impregnated by
With a male.
by a black male with a black male child, you should abort it.
Okay, the bitch can go. Laney says, hey fam, what up, Laney? DT Dub says, I have seen it this morning. Beck says she'll be back. I believe this has happened. It does. She's going to create another account.
No, she created another account and they kicked that one off too. Because I was going to send you this video. It's not YouTube just reporting her. Actual journalists got involved. They're like, we're trying to figure out why this woman.
How do you wait? Time out. Oh, fuck this video. Fuck this idiotic video. Me and you are gonna have words right now, son. Yo. Well, for starters, my opening question is: are you a psychopath?
No.
How is it good that meddling journalists come on YouTube who probably don't even watch YouTube and they're tattling on people, and it's good that people are getting demonetized?
I'm laughing at it. Here's the problem, right? Cynthia G got what she had coming, just like Fresh and Fit. This is the problem when you don't have a consistent worldview. I was extremely happy when Fresh and Fit got demonetized. And
I remember.
I'm even happier that the Eagle Nose bitch got demonetized. You know,
Eagle Nose bitch. Hello, D. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream.
What up, D? I was equally as happy, right? Because when you say idiotic shit and you have these pandering extremist views, you don't deserve to be a part of polite society. Both of those people on those sides of the table are morons.
I admit that what she said is like fucking nuts, but here's what I'm saying. We as YouTubers and content creators, we need to rally against this evil system of demonetizing people.
I don't need to rally against anything. My guy, I've been fighting other people's battles my entire life. Let these niggas experience their consequences. You're telling me that motherfuckers who get up and disrespect people, right?
Because one day you're going to say something that some white lady who runs YouTube is like, I'm offended by this man, and she's going to demonetize you.
Mantis, here's the ironic thing. No white people were harmed in the filming of these videos. This is brown and black people dissing brown and black people,
but white people punishing them for that. And so we need to self-govern ourselves. We don't need these people in the ivory tower telling us how to fucking run our community.
This is not our platform. What are you talking about? This is not owned by black and brown people.
I'm saying our own community within YouTube needs to monitor. We need to police ourselves and not have the man control us.
What are you talking about? We're living on the man's plantation. Like we're on his plantation.
I'm saying we need to live in a world where they are just and understanding that people are going to say crazy shit because this is YouTube. Right? So, listen, and what it is I'm protecting you. I'm defending your future stupid statement. But when have you ever heard me
disrespect black women as a whole? I don't ever go down like that.
Yo, my man, one day, I promise you, one day there's going to be one woman who's like a Megan Thee Stallion fan, and she's going to see a video from you, and she's going to like demonetize him, take away his life.
You know what I'm going to say to her? Ma'am, I'm not even monetized. What are you talking about?
When it happens, you're going to be monetized, and it's going to hurt.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If that was going to happen, here's the problem with this worldview: inconsistent, right? Like 100%. We are all. This is like saying I shoot people on my block who disrespect me on my block. And then I asked them, I'm like, well, where do you live? Do you own this neighborhood? They're like, no, I live in the Bronx. I'm like, but you said it was your block. They're like, yeah, I grew up there. I'm like, but you have some type of ownership on that street?
What are you saying?
You own this block? And they're like, no, but my whole family, we've been here forever, son. I'm like, so you live in New York State.
What is this analogy for?
This is the analogy that you just made on YouTube.
No, you're not making any sense. I'm not following it. I don't think our chat is following it.
Did you not literally just say we should self-govern ourselves on YouTube?
Yeah.
And how the fuck do you propose to self-govern yourself on a privately owned company? How do you propose to do that?
Well, for starters, we should actually get into this because it's funny because
here we go.
Because there is a movement, and it's eventually going to go to the Supreme Court.
The movement,
okay. And so a movement to say that, like, YouTube and social media and stuff like that, that it should be treated like a public utility or journalism where people should be allowed to say whatever they want. And to actually say, I'm a private company, I'm doing whatever. It's just the same thing as discrimination. And so in the future, I'm telling you, I will bet money with you right now, in the future,
do you know they
will be considered.
They brought this type of thing against the trades, right? Like, I'm not talking about like the gossip columns.
It's going to happen with social media. I promise you.
This was a conversation they had about newspapers and radio. I know you're not as old as me, right? I'm 42. Right? They've been making this threat against radio, TV, social media for going on. Well, social media damn near 2 decades, TV for as long as I can remember, and radio for the old timey shit. When is this proposed moment of us self-governing ourselves on a platform that we rely on to be on their servers? You don't own anything here.
No, we don't. But I'm saying the laws about it are going to change, and it's going to be harder for them to just willy-nilly say, you know what? I don't care for Steve's jib.
Wait. You're the same guy that believes that the liberals are paid up with the right people, right?
Oh, yeah. They run everything.
Okay.
But the pendulum is swinging, my friend. And you know who's behind this as well? Who's behind this movement? Clarence Thomas, and he is top tier. He is top tier corrupt.
Wait.
He is top tier corrupt. So
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, right? You talking about pay me off, Thomas? You talking that guy?
Yes, he's gonna come save us. Just wait. Yo, I'm glad this is being recorded because I'm gonna rub it in your fat face when it comes true.
Yo, when you're dying, I want you to know I will be at your deathbed, right? And on top of everything, I will comfort your children. I will make sure that your wife is good. But I'm gonna whisper in your ear right before you expire, "Hey, nigga, that day never came."
I'm telling you. RM says, Fresh and Fit were having physical fights on their set.
Actually, they never had an actual physical altercation. They had someone kick the door in. There was never a fight. Now, No Jumper has had multiple physical altercations.
Oh, all the we're just watching what they do. Matt says, "Is YouTube polite society?" That's a good question. Matt says, "See, I agree with Mantis. I don't think anyone should be demonetized. I'm a free speech absolutist. I am as well. We need to let people do their thing."
I used to believe in the tooth fairy, but then I realized that billion-dollar corporations don't believe in the tooth.
You mean you bought into the fascism that is the man?
No, motherfucker. You brought into the liberal notion of some dirty-haired hippie that said you can do whatever you want, man. And you should be.
No, it's called the Constitution, bro. Hey, that's the hippie that I listen to.
The Constitution has to do with what exactly?
It's what the government can say or do.
Okay.
However,
right.
However, so check this out.
Show me the
public.
Show me the however line that you're about to make up
Cut
right
his
now.
mic. Cut his mic. So here's what I'm saying. It's like public spaces. So people own their businesses and they pay for rent and own their places and they do all these things. So therefore, they should be able to deny service to anyone they want. However, it's not in the public interest for them to deny anyone they want. So we have these things called public spaces where if your storefront is in what's deemed a public space, you have to let everyone in.
Right. Now tell me about this public space, right? Where is this public space? In the 4 dimensions of reality, where is this public space?
It's on the 5th dimension.
You're a fucking liar and a fat mouth. So the public space you were talking about is an actual physical public space that is usually a certain amount of yards away from the storefront of the business, which is controlled by whom? Who controls that public space?
The white man.
The government.
Same answer.
So show me the public space on servers owned by Google. Where's that public space? They own it.
What I'm saying is there currently doesn't exist, but it's coming.
It's coming. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in Manifest Destiny?
Which one was that? Well, we have to manifest our own destiny, and then if someone is in the way, we cut them down.
I don't want to confuse you. This has nothing to do with positive affirmation or any of that silly black shit.
No, but we have to cut them down if they're in our way, right? To achieve it.
Yeah. You believe in that?
Yeah.
So slavery's okay then?
No, why you put words in my mouth? I was wondering, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we talk about Oregon schools?
Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about Oregon schools, but we won't be talking about Oregons. Yeah, go for it.
It's content, Steve. Come on, man. RM says the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house.
Not Mantis.
Wow. That was good. Is that an actual movement? It is a movement. You should look at it. Yeah, I'll send you literature, brother. Steve, we don't own anything here, but we make money.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
Yeah, he says, Steve, we don't own anything here, but we make money here. Exactly. It's ruining people's livelihood.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I hate to be the curmudgeon. I got to do this to you, right? You also make your job money, right? And if you violate their policy and you violate their terms, you can be fired. Now, if the firing is unjust, you can pursue something with HR and legal, some type of, get me back. And you can do that with YouTube as well. The issue is that YouTube has pretty airtight terms of service, and their terms of service are dictated by them. So let me tell you about Cynthia G, and then let me tell you about Fresh and Fit and why they were demonetized and not kicked off the platform. Nowhere in YouTube's
because it's more sneaky to demonetize someone.
Wrong, motherfucker. It's in the fine letter. Nowhere in their terms of service does it say we have to continue to make money with you. You're making me money. I'm taking a hit too. But as a business, we've decided to stop doing business with you.
Yeah, that's great. They have the right to do whatever. I'm not impressed with that. That's not a great argument.
It's not about what you're impressed with. It's so you see what I'm saying? They're not.
I'm saying they're going to go the way of the dodo. They're not going to be able to maintain this very long, this model.
I beg to differ. You show me a different model.
I'm telling you, we have this episode. I'm saving this episode.
Remember,
I'm going to rub it in your fat face.
Remember this episode when I play it on your deathbed, like many things about my friend Mantis. But he was wrong about this. Now, in regards to Oregon schools,
right?
What do you have to tell me?
Okay, so we're gonna do a video from my man Anthony Brian Logan.
Now, hey, before you play this video, You ever notice how Anthony Brian Logan never gets demonetized? Why do you think that is? Is he very particularly safe with the words he uses?
He's safe with the words, and he's a very well mannered. I was gonna say young man. He's not a young man. He's an old schooler. But it's just different. It's just different, bro.
It's just different because you agree with it.
I guess.
If someone told you Destiny got demonetized, you'd be like, "Thank God."
I actually feel bad for everyone who gets demonetized. It's like so not cool, bro.
So you wake up tomorrow and Grace Randolph is demonetized.
Oh, I love it. I would lose my mind. I'd be like, yes, finally justice in this world. But that's just one example. She's pretty much like those evil people we talked about.
Exactly. Those people.
There's my man. And so let's see what he has to say about Oregon schools. Check this out, guys. Unbelievable.
Standards in reading, writing, and arithmetic is racist. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Oregon's Department of Education unanimously approving a continuation on the pause of certain academic requirements to graduate high school. You do not need to show proficiency in reading, writing, or arithmetic to graduate. So if you are 17, 18 years old, graduating high school, you're able to do that. And reading, well, it's not really a requirement. Being able to add 2 + 2, I'm kind of exaggerating, but I'm not really exaggerating. There are plenty of graduates all over the country who cannot read. And obviously, if you're graduating high school like that, you're not prepared for the real world at all. Let's not even talk about how you're not taught some things you need to know, like about bank accounts, about student loans, about some real world practical adult things. You're not told these things in school, okay? But the basic things, the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. Hey, ABL, that's not how you spell arithmetic. I understand, but you understand. Basic things you don't need. And why? Well, to ask for such requirements is racist because marginalized people, meaning students of color, the blacks, Hispanics, and recent non-English speaking as first language immigrants, it's racist against them because they shouldn't really be expected to know how to read and to count and things of that nature. This is ridiculous. Some of the most brilliant minds of this country come from so-called marginalized communities, immigrants. Yeah. Steve Jobs was from Lebanon, right? So, I mean, at a certain point, we got to stop this. Isn't the CEO of Google a guy from India? This is ridiculous. It's dumb. But before I go any further into my opinion, let's check out a local news clip about what's happening over there in Oregon. If you want to see it in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Mantis, how
For
this
the
is
next
sad. How
5
can you not
years,
want the kids
high
to
school
read?
students in Oregon will not need to.
And then Beck says, well, this ain't nothing new. Mantis, you just went in on Sneeko. Do you feel bad for him being... I do feel bad for him being demonetized.
He only feels bad for him losing money. He doesn't feel bad that Sneeko was led astray into believing that watching your woman get banged in front of you is some type of altruistic way to be forgiven for cheating.
Yeah. Matt says, why doesn't the left want POCs to be educated? The answer is they want them to keep voting for them. And if they become educated, they will smell a rat once they hear what leftists have to say.
Perform proficiency tests, show a mastery of reading, writing, or math in order to graduate.
And by the way, this particular pause on the requirement started during the
hold up for a second. This is what I'm talking about. You got to know the symbols, Mantis. You're not up on the symbols, my brother. I wish I had my kufi. I put it on. Look at that shot right there. What are they trying to tell us? They took a shot at the kids' sneakers, not of the kids themselves. trying to tell us black people are only concerned with sneakers. That's what they're trying to tell us, man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else. Because
What did you think I was gonna say?
no, because Anthony Bryan Logan, I think he's part of like some Hotep squad or something. Because when he signs,
this nigga is not a part of no Hotep squad.
no, because when he signs off, he does the weirdest shit. He does this thing where he's just like, peace, and it's like totally like weird. And I was like, what is this?
Can I say something?
Secret code?
And I respect this man greatly, man. I enjoy his content immensely, right? Very entertaining dude. But you know, he's from the South, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I do.
Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And this comes as the Oregon Board of Education unanimously voted to extend a pause on the graduation requirement yesterday until 2028. They're citing inefficiency and inequity. Joel Jones going beyond the headlines tonight to find out what this pause will mean for students.
DT Dub says, good thing I'm educated.
This is a controversial decision and one that's facing a lot of pushback.
Because he's
While
saying he
some
wouldn't
say
get an
that
education.
No, I'm sorry.
lower
I'm
state
judging this
standards
woman on the
and
screen. I'm
cheapen
sorry.
an Oregon diploma. The Oregon Department of Education tells me this
Does she have
policy
enough bronzer?
simply didn't work and disproportionately harmed students of color.
Now let's pause right here. Okay. If I'm an employer and let's say I'm hiring me, the younger version of me, young ABL, and I come from Portland, Oregon, and he sees I have a degree and he's like, okay, black student, Oregon, automatically the thought process may be that I'm not at a very high level of performance academically because of the state that I came from in my race.
Okay.
But the first thing would be the state. From Oregon, black kid, they think that I'm automatically put on the pedestal because of my particular identity. So that makes it harder for me to go out there in the
D
world.
says this is damn
and
sad.
be
It
able
is
to
damn sad, right?
obtain gainful employment.
For the next 5 years, high school students in Oregon will not be forced to take an assessment of essential skills, proving they've mastered math, reading, or writing. This comes
It's
as the
insane.
Oregon Board of
It's
Education
utterly insane.
unanimously voted yesterday to extend a pause suspending the proficiency requirement in order to graduate. Designed to ensure students are prepared post-graduation, the policy was initially paused by Governor Kate Brown back in 2020 amid the pandemic.
What we found is that it simply wasn't working. We looked at several post-secondary outcomes, and there were no changes in those data.
Or maybe your teachers, and yo, I'm going to shit on this right now. And yo, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the chat and like all these, but I'm going to say it anyway. Teachers often write themselves off as heroes. They're like, look at me, I'm a hero. I do all this shit. You have summers off, you fuckers. Work your asses off harder to educate the kids. If you're saying, well, now that they're back from the pandemic, they're just as dumb as when they were staying home from the pandemic. Maybe teachers should work hard to get something done, to achieve something, to get kids back on track. This is the giver upper attitude. Is this what America is, or just that coast? Where they're like, well, they're not learning anyway, so let's just make a law that says they don't need to. Steve, why are you not more upset about this? He's not even here. Okay. Pony, welcome in to the stream. How are you, my man?
Sorry, I had to go use the bathroom.
I was ranting and raving at you. And then I asked the question and you didn't answer. So
what was the question? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Why aren't you more mad at this?
Okay, let me turn my camera. Here's the thing, right? In regards to manufactured outrage, this is clearly heartbreaking, right? I think there should be a clear standard in schools that my child should be able to read, write, and comprehension skills should be enforced, right? Encouraged and developed as they go throughout school. That is the sole purpose of school. Anywhere where you're hearing this type of shit being spewed, it isn't new, unfortunately, because when they started the whole no one left behind thing, which started as a type of sentiment that is good, right? There were kids who were from areas where the schooling wasn't up to par. But the next right move is not to say, hey, no one gets left behind. It's to make sure that everyone gets the same exact education with the same exact standard being presented to them. That's why I'm not more outraged, because I've seen this over and over again. It's happened in Harlem. It's happened in the Bronx. It's happened in Chicago. Bro, when I went to Chicago, when I was going to school in Chicago, I got to tell you this, man. 3rd to 5th grade, I think we had already read Of Mice and Men in New York, right? Of Mice and Men, the Iliad, the Odyssey. When I got to Chicago, man, these motherfuckers were just learning about the Boston Tea Party in the 8th grade, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is shocking.
I heard a black teacher, an African American woman, refer to Spanish as Puerto Rican. No, I'm not talking about. Yes.
Yeah, no, I know the type you're talking about. You know, I went to Booker T. Washington. I don't remember that shit. What kind of attitude that was? You know, it's really fucked up. D says, Mantis, parents don't give a damn. Why should teachers? I feel that. So yo guys, I'm gonna tell you about no kid left behind or whatever and all this shit. So that sentiment is insane, and so you're looking at somebody. I know I'm not the pinnacle of success, but I was left back in the 1st grade, and then I had to go to, because I had some speech development problems and I didn't make any sense. I was speaking my own language, and I had to go to speech therapy after that, and I did 1st grade twice. It was rough. Right. It was rough, but it doesn't make you give up on school. At least in my case, it made me work harder. I had to go to summer school in between 8th and high school, right? And because I had to go to summer school, it actually helped me a great deal. Yeah, to have to do that, bro. Like, I was struggling with basic fractions. I could read the Iliad, but it was like a 4th, a 3rd. The fuck are you talking about, man? Right. No, I feel you. That you're obviously, there's different skills and abilities and different things, and sometimes we lag behind. Sometimes we need extra help. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're garbage. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean the kid is going to give up.
No, but what it does mean is that we have to have a uniformed understanding of what education is and what it isn't, right? And so while we're having all these conversations about critical race theory, about what should be excluded and what should be included into curriculums, we're forgetting the most fundamental things, right? Can my child read and comprehend the books that are being presented in front of them? Can they understand the equations that they are learning, and will they be able to do this beyond the point of when they were taught it, right? And that's another thing they don't teach you in like grade school to high school, is how to retain the information, right? And that does start at home as well. And I just think that we are focused on so many wrong things in regards to education of our kids, where we should be focusing on the bare minimums. Do you know what doesn't come up in the conversation in education in China? A lot of shit that comes up in America.
Right? You mean gender ideology nonsense.
Listen.
Pronouns.
According to my best friend Mantis, my day's coming where I get demonetized before I'm monetized. So I will only speak in vagaries from this point forward.
They're gonna demonetize you, and you know I'm gonna be there for you, brother, to buy you a sandwich.
You're gonna be right on that side with those mother. Like, I told you this was gonna happen to you.
Demonetize this motherfucker. Look what he says. This is dangerous to our children. Pony says Iliad and Odyssey in the 4th grade is wild.
It isn't.
I mean, you should at least be reading excerpts from it, I think. Like,
yeah.
D says, in all seriousness, I feel this problem starts at home. The government does not care about your kids. They are just another social security number for them. Yes, I do agree with you that the idea, and so this is my friend was he was a guidance counselor. And he lost his mind. He actually lost his mind being a teacher, and he just quit. He just was like, he had no security. He was just like, fuck this, I'm out. And so one of the problems was he came to this conclusion, and he said it to me, and like, we were fresh out of college, and he said it to me. I had a chill down my spine. It's my buddy Matt. I was like, how are things with you? He's like, I had to quit my job. I had a nervous breakdown. I couldn't go back. And I was like, why? He said, I realized that the school system is there to keep kids down, not to help them.
100%.
And it was like, what? And he explained all these stories about how he tried to help kids educate themselves, do better. He would go to kids' homes and like his problem was that he cared too much. He was naive enough to care too much. And every time the system is designed to punish and beat down the kid and not actually help them.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And can I say something wildly controversial?
Please.
But I'll be on the record of saying it, man. We don't deal with social dynamics well enough in American schools, right? And hey, hit dogs holler all the time. On top of being educated correctly, my kids should not have to worry about a lot of external threats that come along with going to school, which is why we don't live in the hood. And I'm sorry that I have to be the one to say it. I had to pick the two of less evils, right? My child potentially getting gunned down, stabbed, or beat up versus experiencing some level of racism, which is a real thing in the area I live in. Hardest choice I have ever had to make in my life. I'll let your imagination fill in which one I picked, right? The potential of possibly facing racism from their classmates, or the high likelihood that they would be beat up or attacked on a daily basis coming home from school. These are things you should not have to worry about in school.
Yeah,
and
you shouldn't have to weigh that.
Some liberal fuck is going to weigh in. It's like, well, you see, this is the problem with this nigga. He's giving in to a white. No. I chose not to have to think about my child having to deal with one of two things. And on top of these things, they should only be going to school to learn. But these are the problems that parents face nowadays. And there are a lot of well-meaning parents who send their kids to school every day, hoping that they're going to get a better education than they got when they were a kid. But what they get instead is a lot of malarkey, and then a lot of malarkey from the community. So, yeah, there it is. I said it. I don't give a fuck if you're mad about it. Wait, what did Matt say?
Oh, no, first, real quick.
Oh.
DJW says, I'm glad this is only Oregon, not the whole unit. Yeah, absolutely. It's the problem is that coast, and I would argue that the coast gets so liberal that it's unlivable, basically, their situation. Rebeck says, I went to summer school for the same reason. Yeah. Matt says, yes, Steve, I was the worst in math. I had to go to summer school every year in high school and have a tutor. It was bad, but I pushed through it. Exactly. And we overcome it, and we become better people for doing it. And so this lowered expectations, lowered expectations, in my opinion, is the worst. Well, no, I guess it's not the worst form of racism, but it's the one that grinds my gears the most because it's the one I face all the time. I'll give you an example.
Hit us with it.
My father is white. My mother is black. My father is the ex-convict who abandoned us. But anytime they hear that my father's been in jail, they assume he's black. You know what I'm saying?
When you said that, I was like, are you lying? Don't you mean your dad is black? Continue.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, you're mistaken, right? That whole thing, or like they assume you didn't go to college, they assume whatever, they assume you're doing some ghetto shit. And I admit, I'm a 40 ouncer. I love doing ghetto shit. Like it's my favorite thing. But they shouldn't assume it. They shouldn't assume it. Right? It drives me absolutely nuts. The future would not be bright if it was the whole USA. Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy if there was a whole USA, but thank God we have standards.
I see what you did there, Berlin. That was a good play on words.
Yeah.
Mantis, let me ask you a question in regards to the Oregon thing, Anthony, Brian, Logan, this entire situation. Don't you just kind of wish the aliens would show up? Like, we wouldn't be having these conversations if the Independence Day aliens showed up. Not the wrong type. I don't want the aliens to show up and they're just like, we want to make you better. No, we'll corrupt those poor little gray bastards, have them believe in all types of crazy shit. What if the world-conquering aliens showed up? Do you think we get our shit together then? What do you think?
I think we would be one wonderful group of unified dead motherfuckers. We would be fucking dead in like 3 weeks, but we'd have 3 weeks sticking together. Palestinians and Israelis hanging out together, Saudis and whoever the fuck they hate, whites and blacks, dogs and cats. We'd all have one unified planet, but we would be dead within 3 weeks.
You don't think we stand a chance against the alien overlords?
If they have the ability to come from another planet to here, what else can they fucking do to us?
Well, they're definitely coming looking for you, man. They're going to bring up all the things we've ever said that they've caught through these telecommunications on YouTube and etc. And they're going to see that you've been plotting on screwing gray women for years. Like, they're going to play that shit right in front of you.
So from what I understand from studying like all this shit, they
Just
like
studying
that.
all this shit.
They're into this. They're into this. The aliens want to breed with us. Bad. Who are we to deny them this science experiment? You know what I mean? Cheers, baby. Cheers.
That's the part they're gonna play when they sentence your ass to death. They're gonna be like, this motherfucker.
Yo, they need those gray bitches need a daddy.
I think we might have talked about this before. This is completely off base, but I meant to bring it up to you, man. And since we're Fanboy After Dark, your boy Elon Musk, high overlord of X, formerly Twitter, has declared the term cis in breach of terms of service
because it's a slur. And you know what I love? You know what I love about this is literally probably a year or two ago we probably
talked about this.
Yeah, and we had a certain person who visited us a lot, and we loved this person, but they didn't identify one way or the other, and they kept using it in the chat.
Oh, right.
And I got mad. I was like, "You better stop that! That is a slur." I was like, if anyone ever says that to me, I'm punching them in the face. I don't care how they identify. And I just feel so liberated right now. I know everyone says they're like, well, Elon doesn't know shit. He's just some troll billionaire. Well, as Steve said before, it's his platform.
Right.
But it is a slur. Cis is a horrible slur.
It is.
It's never used nice. It's always used to insult. It's always used to bring down.
There's a content creator on YouTube by the name of Gina on the Block, Puerto Rican woman from the Bronx, and she's like center right to center. It depends on the night, to be honest with you.
Right.
And she has a new show with a human being. That's the term I'm going to use. And the name of the show is called Sisterhood with CIS. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't even know how to respond anymore. But at any rate, I was wondering what your thoughts were, what the chat thinks about that. From now on, Elon Musk might strike your ass if you use the term cis.
I don't use it. I'm glad that we need to stop people from using it because, well, it's not as bad as the N-word, but I think in the future it will be.
I'm just trying to say, is there a clinical definition that follows the term cis? Like, isn't it an acronym? I've never looked into it.
No, it's all from Latin. Okay, so trans is a prefix from Latin, and so the opposite of it in Latin is cis. Is the prefix, and so that's just like a play on words that they're like, we're trans, you're cis. Wait, and so it literally is a slur. It's literally not a real word. It's the beginning of words in Latin.
We're talking about dead Latin, right? Cis is an actual Latin word.
Yeah, but it's not a Latin word. It's something you put in the beginning.
Oh, gotcha.
To say that something's homogeneous as opposed to trans, which is trans, and all these. So they literally took from the phrase trans. They were like, what's the opposite of trans? They looked it up in Latin and it would be cis.
Oh.
And so it literally is a slur. It's not a word that would ever be used on its own in Latin.
Right.
That's fucked up. Pony says in all boys Catholic school we had a new female, not a nun, teacher, and they literally gave her a heart attack. Wow. I think she was giving you a heart attack, my man. She's the one female in the building. Damn, son. I feel that Steve says D 100%. Same for me, having a teenage son in LA. Damn.
Yeah. You got to make those hard choices.
You got that it is fucking hard as a parent. And here's the thing though. Remember, guys, as a parent, my advice to you, and I don't have children, so you can tell me to go fuck myself.
You should really listen right now.
But the only and this isn't just about parenting. This is about anything. Right. The only logical move to ever make is the one that benefits you. And so some people are like, I'll give you an example. When leftist allies are like, we should vote for our poor LGBT, blah, 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 oppressed people. Right. And I'm like, well, think about it this way. Does voting that way hurt you in some way? Because if it does, then don't do it. You need to vote for yourself. And that is literally the only logical thing. And if someone is not doing that, there is something wrong with them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with voting self-interest and voting in the interest of like society, right? Like what's best for society. This is where this conversation gets really weird, right? And I don't know if I'm really ready to flesh this out unless we start a religious channel. The same argument can be made against the civil rights movement. Now, listen to me before you react, right? The conversation we're having,
Okay.
the conversation we're having right now is the same conversation people had in some way, shape, or form in regards to civil rights, 1968, pre-1968, etc. Actually, if you want a really quick surmise version of it, go watch the movie Selma. If you're not interested in studying history, right? I would suggest you study history rather than watch the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. But there's a moment where Timothy Robbins is playing the governor, I believe, of that area, and he keeps using the term, "You're not going to change our way of life," right? And obviously, we realize that that is a term that people use nowadays, where it's like, you're not going to change our term of life in regards to stuff. I think they're two different conversations, but you need to be up on how to differentiate between these two, because people will usually try to confuse you, like, what's the difference between the social wars versus what was going on back then. Okay, what was going back then? There were fundamental rights being denied based off of something someone could not control or what they presented or claimed to be.
Right.
Versus what we have now. I just wanted to throw that qualifier out there. That's the type of shit that's going to get me canceled, Mantis. It's not the other shit. It's going to be shit like that. Or like, we know what that coded language you just used was. And I'm like, well, it's the truth. If you can show me in history where these two things are comparable, I'd be willing to sit down and have a conversation with you.
My man is being polite, but it comes down to this. Transgenderism is not the same thing as race. Stop equating it and go to a therapist. We're going to get canceled. We're getting canceled.
I'm just throwing it out there, man. Like, I'm just throwing it out there.
We are getting canceled tonight. Unfortunately.
What else
We've got some, well, I thought we could move to a funner topic.
More fun than
yeah. Is there anything more fun than Oregon schools going awry? I don't know. Let's see what we have in our goodie bag. Oh, we've got a Tyrone Magnus video.
Tyrone Magnus.
My hero.
Just when you thought he was going bald, you realize he isn't. Tyrone, shout out to you, man. Proving motherfuckers wrong. I knew you weren't bald. I was like, he just shaves his hair off, man.
Yo, did you catch his birthday like a month or two ago?
No.
So you know how like on Hot 95 I do the birthdays as well, and I know you do celebrity birthdays as well as a segment. I remember I go to the site I do has YouTubers and Instagrammers on it. I obviously don't mention them all because a lot of them are yahoos, but there was one where I was like, Tyrone Magnus was in the mix. And I was like happy to declare, I was like, and it's Tyrone Magnus's birthday from YouTube.
Bro, he's way more popular than people give him credit for, man. And I think it's because he's so middle of the road. Shout out to him and Scarlo, man. I don't know if that's his wife or his girlfriend. I think they're like longtime partners. Shout out to your partner, you and Ben.
DG Dub says therapists would just feed to their psychosis, Mantis. They're all, yes, absolutely. That's an absolute thing. And so
they're not all money hungry, you psychopath.
No, here's what I'm saying. A good one will understand when to cut somebody off or whenever. I have encountered people, particularly girlfriends, and my mother, who have been taken advantage of by therapists, where therapists are like, you need more therapy. You need this, blah, 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 or never letting them go.
So there's something you need to be familiar with. There's something called solution-based therapy, right? And in some instances, I won't say most, and I won't even say all, you'll see 12-week increments where it's like, what's the problem? Let's see if we can look for a solution, right? That's the type of therapy. And I just want to warn you gentlemen out there, if a woman ever says, I found a therapist, don't go. It's a trap. It's a fucking trap, bro.
So, I actually had a girlfriend who she just had some issues, and she was so into her therapist, and she was like this before I found her. It wasn't me. Don't blame the Mantis. Anytime something would be difficult in her life, she'd have a difficult day.
Right.
Her sister or mom talk shit to her. She would,
or air
I'd be like,
came into her lungs.
Right. I'd be like, we getting together? She's like, I don't know. I have to have an emergency therapy session. And it would just constant, and she was wealthy. So obviously this person was milking this situation.
Yeah.
That anytime she had any amount of anxiety, she'd go. And I had already, because of family issues and childhood stuff, I have a lot of reason to be distrustful of therapists. And I'm not saying don't go to a therapist. A lot of people need therapists, but there are a lot of shady motherfuckers out there.
I agree with that 100%. I'm laughing because of this, right?
Yeah, I love that. DT Dub says, I agree, Steve. It's a trap. It says it's a trap. Quote, Admiral Akbar. We need more advice on therapy, Steve. What?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, man.
A lot of people need
do
God, says DT Dubs, and I agree with that.
100%. Here's the thing about what you just, the scenario you described with the girlfriend. Especially rich people. I want to be careful because there's still some NDAs in play here, right? I 100% know that to be factual. And you know this, I retired from my former career path because one of the most unethical things I've ever seen is the prolonged status of treatment and therapy. So right. I understand exactly what you're talking about.
And there's a way to dupe people into feeling they need it forever. It's a total crutch. Make it the crutch and you can charge them forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because imagine you're literally saying to a customer, the problem is that money fucks it up. Because if money is the objective, you could be like, well, I could convince them they need it forever.
Yeah. And that's why you all need to subscribe to Dr. Umar's channel, because clearly he's not a therapist concerned with money.
He's the opposite of a therapist.
Yo, did you know he's a licensed MFT? Like, he went to school, got his bachelor's, the whole nine. He's not making that up. He's not one of these crazy people like, hey man, I got crystals, and then if we pop your chakra.
Okay, so
he went to a prestigious school. I should qualify that.
I can't help but notice that a lot of grifters have degrees in a lot of like multiple things, and they're like all over.
Yeah, they all have internet degrees though, Mantis. When you look them up and you try to find out where they went to school, they went to the school of www.
Actually, somebody we both know and we do business with told me the funniest thing today. They were telling me, they're like, yo, you need to make an LLC. And I was like, really? Why? And they're like, oh, it's great. They're like, they can't come after you for money problems. He's like, everything, my house, my car, he's like, my truck, it's all on my LLC. You know, it's like,
that's literally a lyric to a song.
And I literally was like,
my truck,
right. And I was like, oh God, what have I done? I'm in business with a grifter.
Wait, someone we both know?
But let's check out this video. What does Magnus have for us today? We usually end on serious notes. We're gonna end on a little entertainment chat.
What is happening, Magnus? This was sent to me today, and apparently Gina Carano is still going on. So the other day, after joining the Panderverse or whatever,
South Park.
The South Park episode. After that aired, she basically let it all out on what she felt about Kathleen Kennedy. Well,
oh boy,
there's an account on Twitter around the galaxy, and they posted, in case you're wondering, Gina Carano has lost her GD mind. Well, Gina didn't take kindly to that, and she replied, I mean, I personally, I wouldn't have. Maybe Gina's not used to it, or maybe she just felt she needed to say something. So this is what she says. Are y'all ready?
Do
you always call a woman crazy?
Those are great.
Because she has more firsthand experience than you, and say something you don't like or understand? A bit misogynistic, don't you think? Tisk tisk.
Tisk tisk.
Curious if your overlords pay you, or do y'all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up your booty for free. I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out for some fresh air. For some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading, one of the things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. That was a huge red flag for me.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
If
Yeah,
I
very
were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would
This
know that
motherfucker's hungover.
haters come with the territory, and that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care. And caring is a good thing, because as long as they care, well, hey, we still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually, and maybe they do have some good things to add to the conversation.
It's a valid point.
Which they do and did. And at the very least, they're still buying the product. Look at Mando season 1. Boom! The healing had begun. She's very right on that.
Yeah, she's so right.
She's very right
and
on
so
that.
is Matt
We're
Katz's
just
current
like,
comment.
Okay. Yes.
The healing did begin with Mando season 1. Damn. It's amazing. The energy.
And season 2.
Not dictate in silence, and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Side note, don't say the Force is female and then allow only the men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely.
You know, so what's funny about that is that she compared, obviously, the final blow that got her fired. I think everyone knows this. She compared that. She said the way Republicans are being treated. She compared it to being Jews during the Holocaust. You know, before the executions, but you know, the stars of David and so on.
She was trying to draw on some symbolism of being marked.
However, what is interesting, this kind of blows my mind, is that Pedro Pascal did the same thing about liberals, and he made the same reference, and that drove nothing.
That's because, all right. So let's start here first, right? I have no beef with Gina Carano at all, right? I have no beef with her. I don't have any problem. I don't know about all that.
Oh, here it comes. Here comes the shade. Okay, shade class.
No. Kevin Samuels has taught me not to refer to these hoes as queens, because then they start believing they queens, and you end up like Tyrese on the Breakfast Club talking about, I love this bitch, right? No, fuck all that shit.
You mean Will Smith?
No, Tyrese too. Bro, have we not talked about this? Have we not talked about how Tyrese went through one of the most public divorces, got fucking fleeced, and recently his ex-wife is like, you know, maybe I had some people in my ears that pushed me towards divorce.
So here's the thing. I know about his public divorce, but I didn't know he was a simp. He simps for his ex?
Bro, he let these people shame him and his light-skinned queen into fucking... Anyway, that's beside the point. In regards to the Gina Carano situation, right? I did not take issue with what she tweeted that day, because I am working on a level where I understand that she was trying to make a point. And the point being that we cannot categorize people and put them in boxes for them to be potentially persecuted.
Put my ass in a cage.
No, it's different. Here's the problem, though, with a lot of right-leaning conservative pundits, right? When you make statements like that, you know you sound idiotic, right? You can't use an image of damn near Auschwitz.
I admit, when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, Gina, what have you done? Gina, what have you done?"
Yo, and can you answer one question for me? Do you think Gina gets away with saying a lot of shit because she's a fighter? I think there's a lot of that in it. She's like, "Say it to my face, motherfucker."
Well, I think the origin of it is because she's a fighter. She's never put up with shit. She fights back or whatever. And so there's a lot of these starlets who are like young and they're weak. And like Kathleen Kennedy's like, you need to tweet this. You need to unfollow this. And people do it. However, Gina Carano is like, fuck you, bitch, make me. And I think she has a fighter spirit in her. And that's what sparked that. I bet you have Gina Carano in another universe where she didn't have the fighting history, didn't train or anything like that. She's just an actress. That doppelganger of her gave in to whatever Kathleen Kennedy has. There's probably a season 3 of Mando in that universe where she was a part of it.
Well, see, this is what we're talking about. We were talking about raising our kids before. If your kid knows how to throw a correct punch, they'll never get bullied, right? They'll be like, what? Tell me what to say.
Have a good night, T. Mizzle.
Good night, Tim.
Yo, so I'm a Sunday school teacher. I teach these kids stuff all the time about different aspects of life.
Right.
The one thing I wish I could teach them is how to fight, but like it's the one most inappropriate thing I could teach them in
Sunday school. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I can teach them everything. I teach them rugby. We play rugby games. If they're good, we do rugby drills, and they're like, "It's a game. We're having fun." That's great. I really do wish I could teach them how to fight.
You honestly, learning how to defend yourself physically can very much, if used correctly, teach you how to defend yourself mentally.
Yes, the confidence it generates, just in general. You walk tall, you own shit, you're able to accomplish it. It's amazing.
You'll never dye your hair blue or say, well, I dyed my hair blue, but that was different. Back then, it wasn't associated with any weird shit.
It wasn't associated with any political movement. We just had blue, red, green hair. It was a thing. Now these idiots be doing it. Fucking retail. I mean,
whoa.
What happened? Who said what? I don't know. I think Tyrone has more to say.
One of the problems your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring. This is very true.
Yes.
And one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them. How are they able to tell
Homegirl was
stories
drunk
they
when
don't
she said
understand when the ones they identify with
you think Gina? Wait, you actually think Gina typed this?
They are literally trying to squash.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
guy.
Normal tweets from Gina, or any celebrity, I don't believe. But look at this. This is paragraph after paragraph. It's like a total fucking rant. There's no way her publicist wrote this. This is her drunk one night and saying she watched the South Park episode. She was drinking and she was like, "Yeah, fuck that bitch." And another thing about her, and she's just going off. Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Now that you've laid the argument out that way, you won the over. I agree.
And another thing, fuck that bitch.
It does reek of "I'm smarter than you while I'm drunk" type of vibes.
Yeah, she's going with it. Well, why write this much? It is a little nutty. However, I love it and respect it. And I agree with everything she's saying.
You love it and respect it because you're not the one receiving this text message. But I guarantee if Gina Carano sent you a text this long in a relationship, you'd be like, "Yo, this bitch hates me." Like, I hate myself.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying if I was with Gina, I'd treat her like a queen. There's no way she'd send me an angry.
You treat her like a queen because she could fuck you up. Unless, are you trying to say that women fighters can't beat men?
Okay, you were putting words in my mouth. Let's see what Tyrone has to say.
The rebellion. No wonder the story.
But seriously, they
struggling. They fired and dehumanized people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they were banking on the kids picking up the slack, but one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to generation to share the competition.
Pause it.
Steve, what's the fight? Steve, what's the fight? I didn't realize
Wait, did you say Black Women Collective? So no, beloved, that's what Black women collectively call him. Is his wife not a Black woman, Bex? His ex-wife is a Black woman. Are you not accepting her blackness? And she's saying that she regrets having other Black women in her ear, ruining her relationship. Now, he did cry at the death of, what's this guy's name? The white boy with the blonde hair that died
from Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I mean, he died.
Well, we all cried.
His homeboy. I didn't cry. I did not fucking.
I didn't cry either. But yo, Grace Randolph cried on review while she's doing her.
Well, fuck that nigga too. Fuck that nigga and that nigga Meg Thee Stallion. They can go on a date with each other. But I'm just saying to you, like, is that what black women collectively call him? Because I hear a lot of black women not refer to Tyrese as that. In fact, court of public opinion is swinging in Tyrese's favor because it turns out he's not a crazy person. He's just a man that got with a crazy bitch, a crazy black bitch. Continue the video.
It's too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you just respected and threw them away?
I mean, it's true. The sequel trilogy took a shit on everything that was Star Wars. So why is anyone going to pass that on?
Fighting each other instead of taking responsibility. So they encouraged the hate, all while virtue signaling they are standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and weapon. Funny enough, just
Operation Darky
government works.
Right, get behind the darky. Right? And like the darkies will protect our planes and tanks
yes,
too.
Maybe they will, but for this moment, they have heard the people's voices and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership who couldn't handle YouTubers.
This is a very long post.
Yo, this is a tweet. My man, wait, hold on, let's pause it for a second. This is a tweet. This is a fucking tweet. And so this is clearly someone who's intoxicated.
You can't even tweet this many characters. This is a Facebook post that got put up on X. Like,
yeah, as an image or something. Probably as an image. But, obviously someone went to great lengths to write this fucking shit out. There's no way a publicist or some other person did it. This is Gina Carano. She's high, she's drunk or some shit. I love it. I love seeing her, like, she's going for it.
Oh man.
This is like the Constitution, my man.
Deranged. Take some responsibility. Stop discriminating. Apologize about all the things that have been done wrong.
Wait, time out. And you know what's funny toward the end, where there's just a list of shitting on the people? That's totally drunk. That's totally a drunk person. Like, stop discriminating, being a bitch, not matching your outfit, being late for work. Like, she's just listing every bad characteristic she can think of her.
I will say this. It is giving older white woman vibes. Like, I'm going to write a letter to your manager. Like, bitch, I am the manager.
Karen, yeah, this is Karen right here. Karen 101.
That's what I love about Fanboy Modeling School. While the rest of you all cape for your race, we're just here to serve the truth. Well, I'm here to serve the truth. Mantis gives in every once in a while. He's scared of black women, but
how am I scared of black women?
You're terrified of them.
I love black women.
I didn't say you didn't love them. I said you're terrified of them.
You're right. I am terrified of them, but I love them. I don't see where you're going with this.
I'm saying you love them, but you are terrified of them.
The terror, it's titillating. You know?
Wait, what did DT say? What did DT say?
LOL. No, he said, Steve, what the fuck? Guys, don't talk like that. It's giving. We don't talk like that. It's giving?
Completely out of politics. Be truly inclusive, and they'd be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with you, the yes men, and their plummeting stock. Oh Lord, she is going off. Ooh, I feel like she had a cup of coffee and her bunny slippers and PJs on.
There's no coffee involved, bro. That's some coke.
I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I am open-hearted and refuse.
Bro, I'm sorry, man. This is triggering to my ADHD, man. Is that the term people use? It's triggering.
Telling me
he's still reading the same fucking letter, bro.
Yo, that is what Zoomers say. You can't focus on this.
I can focus. I'm saying, like, I feel like I'm being scolded.
No, it's that bitch Kathleen Kennedy. Let's absorb this. I'm loving this.
Hit it.
Was something I needed to apologize for. I would have in a heartbeat, but I didn't say or do anything wrong. People come up to me daily to shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand. Even people who think different. One thing is true. Good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier
I don't even
and
know where
happier
he's at
people
on the shit.
and better opportunity. Look around. We are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide.
What are you going on about, DT Dubs? Is that, what, we sound illiterate?
Makes you guys sound illiterate.
Woo!
Saying it's giving.
Oh,
I tell you this. She knows more about the intricacies of whatever it was going on in there. So she knows way more about this than I, the small YouTuber. But I can tell you as a fan,
let me quantify something for you. As he says, small YouTubers. He has 1.96 million followers, right? But even if you were going to say, well, what's his retention, Social Blade? He's a big enough channel. When Zack Snyder was doing the Snyder Cut, you know who was invited to interview Zack Snyder for that whole shit? He's one of the people allowed on that panel. Do you remember that historic
Yes,
night?
I do.
Tyrone fucking Magnus was on the panel, and I believe he did an individual interview with Zack Snyder. Not that should count for much in life, but he did. He was one of the motherfuckers invited.
That's a big deal. For him to claim that he's a small YouTuber, that's insane.
But so how do you surmise this whole thing, man? Obviously, I'm team Gina. 94% of this, right? She's still a rich person, right? I respect Gina that became the Strikeforce champion, bantamweight champion. I respect Gina that took her L to Chris Cyborg at 135 pounds. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 145, I want to say she lost to Chris Cyborg. I respect the Gina Carano that was able to make some of the best fight sequences I've ever seen in low-budget films. But it was supposed to be a high-budget film. She was in that movie Haywire, was it?
Right, Haywire.
Great film. I respected Gina Carano that has the decent appearance in Mandalorian season 1 and then coming back in season 2, which is, I think her season 2 appearances were way better. I think she read Kathleen Kennedy, the Riot Act, and I think a lot of the stuff she says here is 100%, is accurate, right? Like, it's accurate. She got did dirty. She said something stupid. I don't think she should have been kicked from the show. 100%. And I stand on that. I don't think she should have been removed from The Mandalorian based off of that tweet. It was idiotic.
I agree. It was idiotic.
But I don't think she should have been removed. And I think she should continue to speak up. And hopefully, maybe they will bring her back. I've always wanted to see her come back in the MCU. I enjoyed her in Deadpool, man. I enjoyed the nip slip. Thought that was great. I enjoyed Gina Carano more than Ronda Rousey. In fact, if I could sub those two out, I think Gina Carano is a much better actor, mixed martial artist than Ronda Rousey.
In regards to Disney, have you heard of a man named Peltz?
Yes.
You know what he's up to, right?
What's he up to?
So, this guy is super millionaire. His job, basically the way he markets his job, is whenever a company is in trouble, he comes over, they sell him stock on the cheap, and he joins their board and he teaches them how to fix their company. And that's his profession.
Yeah.
And so Bob Iger has summoned this man to help fix Disney's image. And he asked for a ridiculous amount of representation on the board, and Bob Iger has agreed.
Okay. I don't know enough about him. I know the name the same way I know the name of Ray Donovan. They seem synonymous. He's a fixer.
Right. He's basically a fixer. He's personal friends with Donald Trump. He's super rich. And his history is removing wokeness from companies when wokeness goes wrong.
Hey, can I take you back in the way back machine? Do you remember the first time they tried to release the Black Panther or Black Widow? There was a guy that was in the MCU that was like, we're not doing either one of those things. We're not doing the Black Widow movie. Maybe we'll do a Black Panther movie. And then that guy got removed. Remember when it was proposed that Kevin Feige wanted much more inclusion in the MCU and he wanted stories to be told from the comics? You remember this shit?
Yeah.
They wanted the Black Widow and Black Panther. Then we got it. Do you think they should have kept the old racist white man? Was he serving a purpose?
No, no one has gotten it 100% correct.
Right.
I agree. Like, for instance, Matt saying, I hope Peltz rehires Gina. That would be the best. That would be freaking amazing. Right? That's why I brought that up. It's possible.
The nip slip.
What?
The nip slip. Are you going to pretend like you didn't see the nip slip in Deadpool 1?
I saw the nip slip, but why are you bringing it up?
I'm just saying. The nip slip.
Basically, all I'm saying is that no one has got it perfect. No one really knows what's going on. I hope Disney is able to bounce back, but I hope they drop their wokiness.
So their stock is just under 80 right now. Literally just under 80.
Is that good or bad?
It's not great. It's not great. It's not
Last
great.
year it was like 200 or something. These fools.
Had a great time tonight, man. Had a great time tonight. Tyrone Magnus, not married to a black woman, right? So we should completely discount everything he has to say. Would you agree?
I mean, does that mean if we're not married to a black woman, no one needs to listen to us?
Yeah. Oh no, you should definitely not listen to anything I say. I'm not married to a black
I've
woman.
never listened to anything you have ever said. I promise you.
Well, because you're a result of interracial relationships, I don't even consider you a real person.
I know. I'm an aberration that needs to be destroyed.
When
I think
you walk
Grace
around-
Randolph said something similar on her live stream today. I think Kathy Hochul, our governor, is all about that.
Mantis, when I look at you, I assume that you are a result of white violence.
If you mean my mother's rapist, a white man. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Too far a joke. We're joking around. We're having a good time. This is a fanboy modeling school, and jokes are byproducts of us having a good time. I'm having a good time. Are you having a good time, brother?
I'm having a great time, man. I'm ready for bed, though. I got to be honest with you. I got to be up at 6 in the morning. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. What do you got going this week for Hot 95, man? You guys got a lot of shit cooking up over there. I know you're making some big announcements. What's up?
So, what it is me and you were on the same time bracket, and it was just killing me. It was eating me up at night. I said, oh, God. Me and my man Steve are on the same time. So I've corrected that.
Oh,
and now
shit.
Now the Fat Mantis is coming on at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm a truly evening primetime motherfucker.
Oh, fuck, nigga. We're still competing. So your man Steve will be continuing his slot at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., taking a small hiatus from 8 to 9 to go from 9 to 12.
9 to 12 on what? On Spin?
On Spin 95, yes.
The fuck, man? Why are you always on my shit? Fuck this nigga.
Light-skinned niggas always trying to
We can't catch a break. We cannot catch a break. We do not know how to organize this. Tune into the person who thinks better.
It's Mantis.
Hands.
It's clearly Mantis. It's clearly Mantis.
He says we had a great stream. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you so much.
Matt. Hey, Matt, actually, go check out Matt Cat's channel, man. I watched his review of Loki, which was not great. It was not great. Matt did not show Loki any love.
But Matt keeps it real in his opinions, and you guys all need to check that out. Thank you, D. Good to see you, D. I missed you so much. You guys all have a great one. This is the Fat Mantis.
Stop race bending these great white characters. Mantis, tell her, man.
This is a Fat Mantis signing off. The Fat Mantis now in HD. This is Fanboy Modeling School taking off. I'm here with my man
Steve, real name no gimmicks, also in HD, high fidelity as well.
Get your lives together and fuck off.